Okay, so I'm going to try and key out this flower that I found in the field by my house. It's getting a little wilted, so hopefully we can do this. I did already press some, and there was lots of it there, so I picked a bunch, some to press and some to use to try and key it out. So we're going to use the Newcomb's Wildflower Guide, which you all should have, that one right there. Here's mine. I have the hardcover version, but it's the same. And so as you now know, you're going to look first and try to figure out the code for the plant based on the flower and plant type and leaf type. So for the flower type, it says these different options, mostly how many parts are in your flower. So we're going to take a look at the flowers, and I did pick one off so that we could hopefully see it a little more closely. And I hope that you can see that it has, even though it looks like a bunch of petals, it's actually 5 petals. The petals are sort of divided, you can see, and if I turn it over, I think you'll be able to see it a little better. Each of those is a single petal coming out of the sepal, so there's actually 5 petals. So we're say five flower parts, 5 regular parts. It is a wildflower, and what kind of leaves does it have? We just need to take a quick look. Opposite. So we got 5, and then we've got opposite, so that is 4, and finally leaf type. The leaves are entire, no teeth. So 5, 4, 2. Let's turn to the locator key and go to see where we are. Here's the locator key. So now we got to go to 542. 542, here we go. It says continued, so we must start on the previous page. 542, leaves entire. So the question next, if you look where it's indented here, are the petals grown together to form a tube, bell, or cup? No. What's another choice? Looks like we have to go to the next page. Are the petals separate? The sepals are united into a tube, cup, or bladder from which the petals emerge. That looks pretty good. I could also, because this is at the same indentation, I could also look at both sepals and petals are separate or appearing so. But if I look at this again, you can see those sepals are definitely fused. So we're going to pick petals separate and sepals united into a tube. So then we have to decide our next choice. If we see the next indent, we just have to pick. And this is based on where you found the plant. This is why when you're in the field collecting things, you want to make a note of where you find your things. Is this dry habitat or swamps and wet meadows? This was from the field and it was definitely dry. So I will go to 258. So we flip ahead to page 258. 258, here we are, right here. So now when you get to this part, you can double check the top, make sure it jives with what you've got. And it looks like this is what we just picked. So now we're going to look at the page and see if anything looks like our flower. Doesn't really look like it, because if you notice the way that these flowers are, the end of the stems, they're all kind of in this interesting branching pattern, and I'm not seeing that on this page. Oh wait, down here it says continued, so let's go to the next page. And yep, same thing. So we had 2 pages worth under this category. Here we go, this looks better. So right here at the top, I think I see something that looks a lot like our plant. It's got the petals that are kind of divided, somewhat divided, not completely though. And here's that little, where the sepals are kind of fused. And here's the branching that it looks very similar. It's got the the opposite leaves, and it's called Ragged Robin. So now you always want to go over here and read the description, make sure it fits what you think you're looking at. So Ragged Robin, it says, which is L. flosscuculi. L stands for likeness. See this, L. flosscuculi, here's likeness. So the plants on this page are the genus Silene or Likeness. So this is a likeness. It says petals divided into 4 narrow lobes, appearing tattered. Yeah, deep pink. With the flowers are deep pink. There's the size, the height, 1 to 2 feet. It definitely was a tall plant. Fields and meadows, and it's from Pennsylvania North. Flowering in the summer, which it is right now. It's late June. So here we go. And there's our little flower. And they're really pretty. It's too bad it's so wilted so you can't see it in all its glory. You can also see the anthers and filaments in there, which is kind of cool. So now, just to double check myself, I would definitely write that down, and then I would go to one of the more comprehensive keys, probably the Flora Novae one, just to double check and make sure that it seems to be what I've keyed it out to. And I can also even go online and look it up. You also need to double check the names, because the names may have changed. Newcomb's is a little older, and so sometimes over time the names do get changed, and so you just have to double check that and make sure you're using the current name when you record what you've got. So anyway, we've got Ragged Robin growing in my field. All right,